You were ordering caipirinhas.
Yeah.
And you were ordering them in Spanish on a Brazilian beach.
Yeah.
And I was just like, does he know that he's doing that?
Yeah. Look at this stupid gringo speaking Spanish to the people that speak Portuguese. Yeah.
Fitness and thinking is all about 6 pillars of fitness. You've got the physical, mental, social, emotional, spiritual, and financial states of being.
I think it's really nice to it's nice to connect with people that are like kind of on similar paths, like obviously social media, whatever, that kind of thing. I think it's nice to have a discussion like this in this kind of city. I don't know how you're going to edit it, but people will see the type of city we're in. Yeah. But it's nice to just chat on a deeper level about things that you probably don't speak to with your mates just in the pub on a Friday night or whatever. So it's nice to talk things through.
We've got lots in this about community and how important other people are for our own kind of sense of well-being.
Yeah.
And how you're a part of different communities, but you're building your own with your Spanish WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Yeah, which just seems to be getting bigger and bigger, which is amazing. We discussed, I think, the idea of travel as being for anyone who wants to do it, but you've got to book the ticket.
Yeah, book the ticket.
Yeah, it's not, it must be nice kind of thing. It's if you actually want to do it, do it.
Yeah. And
some people will scare themselves off from doing it. They'll say that they want to do it and maybe actually don't. And maybe we've come up with a couple of ways to deal with that.
Yeah.
I'd say. A little bit of football in there ahead of us, seeing Club
America versus Puebla or something tomorrow?
So like a big local derby.
Yeah, big game.
Yeah, and loads of traffic in the background.
Mexico City.
All right, class. Like and follow if you haven't already. Check out yosoypeds on TikTok.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it. Peds, what are we doing in Mexico City?
So I quit my job at the start of this year, corporate job in London, to travel through Latin America. I just thought, at the time of my life I was in, like, single, no kids, no mortgage, all that kind of stuff. I just thought, right, if there's a time to do it, it's now. Still young and healthy. Parents don't need looking after just yet. They've got ages, hopefully, until that happens. Started traveling, and then my cousin called me 2 months in saying that he's got a wedding coming up. So I flew back home for my cousin's wedding, which was not planned the wedding was planned, but it wasn't planned for me to take that time to go back and come out and whatever. But I like to try and be there for important stuff in my friends and my family's lives. And then I'm basically come back out almost like as leg 2 of my trip to do the countries that I missed out on the first phase. So I wasn't meant to go home. I'm probably meant to be traveling just for a year, and then go home, come back. And you, Mexico?
Mexico for me, it's just been on top of the list forever.
Yeah, mate, it's an amazing place. Yeah.
So I was in Southeast Asia at the start of this year, and that was at the back end of a 6-month trip, and that was me trying to do the online coach bit.
Ah, right, like a nomad kind of.
Yeah. Just to see if I could actually put the do this from anywhere to the test.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing saying it, but that was like a really good experience in the sense of, yes, I could do it. Was it the sort of trip that I wanted? Not really. I think what I've experienced in Mexico so far is a trip that I want. I think when I became aware of you, it was around day 100, day 101 of quitting my corporate job to go travel the world. Yeah. So that's the title, it's on all your TikToks.
Yeah.
And you were ordering caipirinhas.
Yeah.
And you were ordering them in Spanish on a Brazilian beach. And I was just like, does he know that he's doing that?
Yeah. Look at this stupid gringo speaking Spanish to the people that speak Portuguese. Yeah.
I was like, fair play, but it's a different culture. Like, is that okay? But then obviously seeing your Spanish content after that and thinking, oh, like, he's legit. He's really going for this. Your video on the use of por and para, like how for works in Spanish. Yeah. So I'm a year into beginner Spanish.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's something that like really drew me to watching your stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, cool. This is somebody who has decided that 9 to 5, for whatever reason, isn't quite what is happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, let's go do something else and get into a different culture.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's a good point for us to jump off from. Why Spanish? Did you always want to learn a different language? Like, yeah, should we go from there?
Yes. No is the answer. I did French at school and I hated it.
Yeah.
And I was probably one of those, like, I think everyone kind of says it at school, is like, oh, why am I learning French when everyone else is trying to learn English, and like we don't need to. And you can be lazy when your English like is your first language. And I just didn't really like it. I think I did all right. I got an A, but I got like an A star in the writing and the speaking, because that was just me memorizing it. And then in the listening and the reading, I got like an E and a D. So like it was just I was good at memorizing. I wasn't good at the language. And then 2 years ago, I went on a holiday to Mexico, and I met a group of mates that were traveling Mexico, and then I met a group of mates from work. And I just fell in love with the music, the food, like the culture, like how positive everyone's outlook is on life. Like all the locals that you interact with, they're always so positive. And I was just like, wow, this place is amazing. And then I didn't really do anything with that. And then the next year I came back, but I went to Dominican Republic, but that was, to be honest, just to like party, and we parked up in an all-inclusive. It wasn't like a cultural trip. But then from that original Mexico trip, I just started to get more involved in like listening to reggaeton and Spanish music. And then I was like, if I am going to travel at some point, this is where I would pick. Because I'd been to, like I said, I'd been to Thailand for 2 weeks, and it was amazing. Me and my mate had like an amazing time. But I wanted something where I could learn a language, and it obviously is consistent with like 95% of the continent. Obviously, like in Brazil, it's Portuguese, and like Suriname, and like there's a Dutch one. I forgot what it's called. No, Suriname is the Dutch one. And I'm not going to go there anyway. But I just thought it'd be cool to like properly be able to engage with the locals by speaking their language. So I was just like, right, let me give it a crack and start learning. Yeah.
And you've properly gone for it from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Big Mama. Who's Big Mama to you?
I did like I was learning in London 2 hours a week online with like a one-to-one tutor. And then when I got here, well, before I got here, I was looking at TikToks and all that, and I see like loads of people doing like Spanish schools where you stay with a local family. So I booked that, and then went and lived in Guatemala with a Guatemalan family, and was doing 3 hours of Spanish one-to-one, and then like engaging with the family. Like it's like full immersion. Like if you want to like really dig into a language, that's the way to do it. And just ended up having like a really good relationship with the mum, like the owner of the house, like the mum of the house basically. I don't know if she'd be happy knowing that I call her Big Mama on my TikToks, but it is what it is. But it was just an amazing experience. Like it was so wholesome. It was like a mum and a dad, a younger daughter who was like 8 or 9, and then one of the older daughters had like a newborn, like 6 to 8 months old, and then like a dog. So like it was just like such a wholesome environment to be in, and like bit of like come away from like the moving about, park up there for a bit, get to know the family, get to know the local area, speak to the locals and stuff. It was really, really good. Like I think if you're trying to learn a language, the best way to do it is immerse yourself in it like that, and it was class. Yeah, really good.
How was it in the house? Was there an expectation on you to contribute in some way? Like how did you fill the time?
So you have like your lessons in the morning, and you can do 3, 4, or 6 hours. 3 was enough for me. I'd go out, do my lessons in the morning, we'd come back, eat as a family, with like the other students that live in the house as well. So I was with 2 other English people, and then a girl from, I can't remember where, but a country in Eastern Europe, I think maybe Poland. So then you kind of contribute by like, they cook for you, but then you do the washing up. But like all the meals and stuff you're paying for, so it's not like they're just cooking for you or whatever. Like you're paying for the accommodation, you're paying for the meals, but you do help out by like cooking and by like cleaning up after yourself and all that kind of stuff. Nice. And then in the afternoons you're just free to like chill by the lake and like go do some cliff jumping, do wakeboarding, go on hikes, whatever it is. Like it's an amazing setup. Amazing setup. Yeah.
Really, really good. Is that something that you'd be happy sharing, like in the description?
Yeah, 100%. It was community Spanish school, and the community Spanish school in San Pedro on Lake Atitlan, and the family I stayed with was with Sandra, which I couldn't recommend more, because when I was speaking to the other students at the school, they were getting fed like traditional Guatemalan food, which is nice, but for every meal. Whereas we would get that, and then we'd get a spag bowl, homemade burgers, fried fish, all this kind of stuff. So if you're looking to do it there and stay with Sandra, I would say. Yeah.
And it probably helped a little bit with burnout and having too much too soon, I imagine.
Yeah. It was a nice break, like to park up somewhere. You know, like it's like when you're like in and out of a backpack moving every 3 or 4 nights. It was nice to just like 2 weeks, bit of a breather, wholesome environment, and then go on again to travel, kind of thing. Yeah.
Do you ever get? It's something that I'm struggling with now, and I've had it in different languages.
Yeah. Do you speak more than one language?
I've studied different languages.
Okay.
So I was all right with my German, and I was in Berlin for a summer.
Oh, nice.
And there's this moment where.
It's a big old dog.
That's a big old dog.
It's a fucking bear.
There was a moment where if I was on a night out, I would find myself on dance floors chatting to people without recognising that it wasn't English.
Oh, wow. That's a really good level to be at.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So you're thinking in German at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, yeah, that's an incredible level.
There's this one moment, I've not really shared this in this format, but I think it's a good story.
Here we go. Get it all out now, mate.
So we went to this club called Stadtbad, which is literally like municipal swimming pool, like town swimming pool.
Okay.
And the pool's been drained out, and sometimes they'll have like events in the pool itself.
Yeah, that's a cool venue.
But we were underneath it, so you're with the pipes and the tiles and the changing rooms.
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool venue. And my mates joined me for maybe the first 3 hours, and then obviously with Berlin, the idea is how long can your night go?
I've heard it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
And I was maybe about 8 hours in, and
it's a shift already, mate.
It's a big shift. There was, here's the bear.
I was second guest on the podcast, mate.
I think he's called Hamon. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Amazing. Ham the dog. So we're in this municipal swimming pool, or at least underneath it, 8 hours in, it was a time when, you know, I was smoking and drinking and just having like a good go at the party lifestyle.
How old were you at the time?
So I was 21, 22.
Oh yeah, just doing what any 21-year-old. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
And this guy, like I hadn't clocked that he wasn't my mate that I'd come with, just starts talking to me. And he's just like, what do you think of the venue?
It was in German.
This is all in German,
yeah.
but I didn't realise until about an hour later. I was like, yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if you know this band, Good Shoes, but there's an album cover that the pool reminds me of. Can I show you it? So we go like to the doors to look at the swimming pool, and there are these diving boards on different levels, and Good Shoes' second album has pretty much that cover. And I say to him, I also don't know if you've like experienced this, but it's a little bit like this Bertolt Brecht Verfremdungseffekt. So I studied Brecht at A level, and Brecht was this playwright who used to love making things like deliberately abstract. So characters would get changed on stage. One actor would play two parts.
Okay.
And so the idea is that you're there for the message, you're not there for the performance. So it's all right that they're getting changed because you're just there to listen. Kind of thing. And the Verfremdungseffekt was the alienation technique. It's this thing of looking at something and feeling like you recognise it, but also feeling distanced from it.
Okay.
So this is a swimming pool. I love swimming. I love jumping off things. But it's empty. Obviously, I can't do that. It's that thing of there's something strange about seeing an empty pool. And he's like, man, that's really interesting. Willst du noch ein bisschen Ketamine? Did you get that?
I got the last bit.
And I was just like, oh, wow. And the night kind of went on from there. After that interaction, I'm by myself. He's just bought me a grapefruit beer and like disappeared into the shadows somewhere. And then I've realised as I take a sip that there's nobody speaking English around me. And I haven't spoken a word of English in that time. And he hasn't acted like I've been stupid. Or,
that you're a foreigner.
Like I felt really a part of it, even though I'd been left alone in this club.
It's
like,
amazing.
No, this is cool. I feel all right. But when I was sober, not the same experience.
Oh really? What, from like a confidence perspective or?
Yeah, I think it was, there's almost like a block. So I moved back out to East Germany. I went to Leipzig and it didn't quite work out with the mates. I ended up by myself. And they didn't understand my accent in English or in German.
Perfect.
And this is East Germany. This is winter in East Germany, and it's -6 outside. It's dark for like 20 hours of the day. And I felt like I was looking up at my throat, kind of thing, just like move, just like do something.
And
I felt completely incapable.
Right.
And I think since that moment, there have been like episodes of trying to speak other languages and then just feeling like a child, like feeling incapable. You know, like I've got all of these ideas, but I don't yet have the structures to give them to you.
Right, I see.
Does that make sense?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
With your Spanish, do you feel like a different person? Or?
No, do you know what? I actually don't. I feel like I can get my personality across in Spanish. Obviously not perfectly, and my Spanish is nowhere near like perfect or where I want it to be. But I found that, and I don't know what it's like learning German and then going to Germany and speak to Germans, but when you're in Latin America and you're speaking Spanish to people, they are so patient with you, Like, I would say, especially at the start, my Spanish wasn't as good as it is now. It's improved a little bit, but like, it was worse at the start, obviously. When I was checking into hostels, I don't look like a local, I don't sound like a local, I probably don't dress like a local. Every time I check into a hostel, I would start in Spanish and they would be like, do you want to speak in Spanish to help you improve, or do you want to speak in English because I can speak English as well? And every single time I'd be like Spanish, and then they'd be like, okay, cool. And they would speak so slowly to me so I could basically practice my Spanish. So I think because of how friendly they are here about it, like that barrier probably just gets massively reduced because they're just so appreciative that you're trying. That's how I felt anyway. That's been my experience with it. I know that sometimes, like in countries in Europe, if you try and speak their language, they just write you off straight away and go straight to English. And I do get that a few times, but I just continue in Spanish because it might just be the case that they want to practice their English as well. And it actually makes it easier because then if I'm listening to English, I only need to worry about speaking in Spanish. It's basically like doing 50%, and then they can listen in Spanish and then practice their English by speaking in English. So I actually haven't found it to be like overwhelming or like uncomfortable. They're always just like like always up for a chat, and like they're very appreciative that like an English person or like a foreign person has like or is at least trying to learn their language and like meet them halfway. So it's been okay, I'd say.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think I've been inspired by you a little bit because you've been going to Spanish-speaking restaurants in places like London as well. And keeping it going. And I think it's that use it or lose it thing. And I have said to everyone, you know, voy a practicar, You know, like I really do just want to give it a go.
Yeah.
And had a moment in the hostel yesterday where my guy couldn't speak English
Yeah.
and apologised to me. And he's just like, no,
you're in your country. Yeah, speak Spanish, like.
And between us, we figured out that like I just needed a plug for my laptop so I could do some calls with my clients, and you know, it was all fine.
Yeah.
And we both did it from a position of being apologetic that we weren't speaking.
Yes, yeah, which is amazing. And like, if you've got both people that are just trying, good. If one person just wants to write you off straight away, then it is what it is. But that's very, very rare here. Everyone always is like buzzing that you're speaking the language, and like, yeah, it's been nice.
A classic thing with travel, it's also like a lame joke that I'll make with runners. Or me and my best mate will always crack on when we see like couples running, what they're running away from.
Yeah.
Is travel that for you?
No, it's not. It's not at all, to be fair. It's I don't know if I touched on it a bit at the start, but like I was just looking at my setup of my life in the UK, and I'm not going to lie, like I was living a great life. Like I had a good job, I had great mates around me. I was sharing a house with 3 of my best mates in London. You know, half an hour tube into the office, in the office 3 days a week, going to the gym, playing football, going and watching football, home and away with my family every Saturday, going to the pub, going on holidays. Like, it was an amazing life. But 9 to 5, was I like, and I know you're so lucky if you like wake out of bed excited to do what you do, and like very few people have that. And I liked what I did. I had a great team, I had great customers, it was brilliant, but I wasn't like, this is what I'm meant to be doing with my life. And just spoke to my boss and was like, look, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And he was like, professionally, I'm gutted, but from a personal perspective, I'm so happy you're doing this. I did it when I was roughly your age. And that's pretty much the feedback I got from everyone that I told at work. And I just wanted to make sure I left in the right way. So I gave him like plenty of time to find my replacements so that they could know who my replacement was whilst I was still there, so we could do like proper handovers and all stuff like that. So I think that maybe if one day I did want to go back into it, I would have like good references and people that would have my back if I wanted to go back into the company I was working for, or into like if they've moved on and like maybe knock on the door kind of thing. But I just want to see where social media goes. It might go nowhere, that's fine. It might go somewhere, great. Just see what happens. But I just needed time in my life, I think, to have a bit of a pause, because I've just did primary school, secondary school, straight to uni. Both summers at uni I did internships and worked, and then as soon as I finished uni I was straight into a job. So like I never did like the gap year at 18 or the gap year at 21 or lived abroad. I just kind of needed to go, okay, what do I want to do with this thing? Because we only got one chance of it, so what is it that I want to do? I can always go back to corporate, but I can't always go and travel and see the world when your knees aren't fucked, and like you can go up hikes and like do all that stuff. So that was basically, I don't think I'm running from anything. Maybe I'll figure it out in a month, so I'll be like, fuck, that's what I was running from. I don't think it's that, but it was more just like, I was looking at it, like, if there's a time to do it, it's now, basically.
There are 3 things from that. The first, I can only apologise if people heard the search for the lost cat, Bonito.
yeah. I think the mics will be fine.
We should be alright.
Yeah.
If you heard that, it was a man
it wasn't us.
with a cat on his back looking for Bonito. Hopefully he finds him. The second is, I think what's really nice to hear from you is that it's not an abnegation of your responsibilities. It's that you don't have them.
Yeah.
It's actually, I have this period to go out and have a crack at something that is really interesting and meaningful to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And people will just go all the way through and hope that they're in a good position, shape, fitness, financially, physically, whatever, as you say, to then go and enjoy retirement.
Yes.
But I think something that's motivated me to, be out in Mexico while I've still got clients in the UK is, have you come across Tim Ferriss?
I'm terrible for someone that works in sales, I'm terrible with names and faces, but I may well have. But tell me what it is anyway.
So Tim Ferriss is an American entrepreneur who has had loads of different businesses, but I think his first bestseller book was called The 4-Hour Week.
I think
I've seen.
Yeah, I think I haven't read it, but I think I've seen this. Like or the idea of a 4-hour week. Yeah.
And it's problematic in some ways, but he was the first to lay out this kind of lifestyle of remote work and outsourcing what you don't need to do, and ultimately getting down to 4 hours what might have taken you 40 in a week.
Yeah.
Great. And he talks about booking things to look forward to, and also making sure that they're substantial periods of time away from work.
Yeah.
So he calls them mini retirements.
Yeah.
And the idea is that he'll book a month's trip 6 months ahead of time. So he's got the excitement for 6 months of this 1 month trip. And then he's got 1 month intensive in a place. Mini retirements, enjoying things while you're fresh, kind of as you're describing.
Yeah.
But not just doing the 2 weeks bit, like actually giving yourself enough time to get into a place. And there are so many people who will never get to see the world because of their commitment to work. I'm maybe speaking from a position of not knowing what my thing is that I want yet.
Okay.
I don't know if I found it.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want, do you think?
Oh, that's a huge question. I think I know like the lifestyle I want, but I'm figuring out like the vehicle that enables me to get that lifestyle. And I think I had like a lifestyle that I liked in London, but the bit where you have to give up 9 hours of your day, 5 days a week, I wasn't particularly pleased about. So I've always said to my family and my friends that I never ever cared about being like a multi-gazillionaire or whatever. I always just wanted to have enough money so that any decision that you wanted to make, a swaying factor wasn't the price. It would just be like, say for example, I always use this example, I don't even know if it's a good example, but like taking one of my children to like an event that they're participating in, and like on the way back there's a load of traffic and you know it's going to take you ages to get home, but you see a hotel, it's just like, okay, we'll just park up in the night for the hotel, we'll go out for dinner, we'll drive home the next day. And it's just like, I've always just wanted an amount, I just want to live like a lifestyle that makes my life easy, and unfortunately a lot of the times is that you need money to do that. Estamos grabando. Lo siento. And I've just always wanted that. I wanted to earn an amount of money where it doesn't play a part in swaying the outcome of the decision, basically. And you don't need £1 bazillion to do that. But I want to. Sorry if I'm waffling, but I want to achieve that in my own way. I don't want to have to do it by working for someone else. And that's basically what I'm trying to do at the minute.
For sure. Maybe we run with this then. What are you working on? How are you building the platform for this lifestyle?
Yeah. Great question. So I think some things that are starting to come up that will be appearing more on like my social media is I'm probably going to soon pivot more towards like going down the Spanish route, because I found that when I was doing the vlogs, a lot of the things that people were picking up on was when I was like going into a cafe and speaking Spanish. So I would then separate that out as a separate clip, and the vlog would do say X amount of views, and then the bit of just me speaking Spanish would do 10 times the amount. So clearly that's what my audience is interested in me seeing. So at some point I'm going to pivot that way. But I think there's something in, and I need to just figure it out, but there's something in an English person teaching other English speakers how to speak Spanish, because it's like more relatable. But I will never be able to teach someone, or at the minute I wouldn't be able to teach someone how to become fluent in Spanish, but I could get you from A to B to a point where I then hand you over to a tutor that takes you from B to C to D to E to F, and really like nailing the fundamentals. Almost like go out with your mum and dad or your mates in the car before you start paying for driving lessons. Almost like just get to where you need to be to then expand. And I think there's something in that, but we'll see. And then obviously, as and when my manufacturer pulls their finger out a little bit, hopefully the hats will start being up for sale and the t-shirts and stuff like that. But I'm just having teething problems with manufacturers on samples and stuff, but I think that's all just normal stuff. But that's all fun as well, trying to figure that out like remotely, which is cool.
Why the Sunday Club?
Sunday was always your day. It was the day for rest, or like it was the time where you're meant to be free. People out here work 6 days a week and their only day free is Sunday, and it's like the time for yourself. And the rough messaging behind the brand is like, how can you design your life so that every day gives you that freedom that Sunday traditionally gives you? So that's why it's called Club Del Domingo.
Amazing. I think it looks class on caps. It's that cap.
This cap is nice. Yeah, it's nice. I'll send you one over once they're ready.
Did you know that each episode of Fitness and Thinking takes about 10 hours to put together, and yet hundreds of hours have been consumed by you lot already across Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube? Now, just using the kit that you see here, wherever I am in the world, it is a treat to put these episodes together. If you've enjoyed them, if you have found yourself watching multiple of them, then I've got a favour to ask of you. And it's not your money. It is just a second to like what you like. Maybe a couple of seconds to leave a comment on what you enjoyed, what you changed, what you might have asked the guests, and maybe to ask me to bring on somebody or to discuss a topic that you're interested in. The last thing is to subscribe if you haven't already. Most people will watch an episode, maybe watch a couple in a row, but not subscribe. And yet that could be a massive sign to all those algorithms that you are interested in what Fitness and Thinking is all about. Something that your content does really well is make the watcher feel like they're with somebody they know. Yeah. And we were saying off camera that it's like a FaceTime with your mates.
Yeah.
And that's how you pitched it initially, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to speak to that a bit?
Yeah. So I think, like you say, like one of the main bits of feedback that I was getting. So I originally started, like I was telling you off camera, with a private Instagram, basically so that my nan, my mum and dad, my mates from home can see what I'm up to and see that I'm having a good time and see that I'm safe. Yeah. And I was posting on there every day, making these little vlogs. And at the start, they were crap, and also they were like 5 or 6 minutes long, and they were just like whatever, like too long and boring. But my mates were enjoying them, and like I say, I was speaking Spanish in some, and my mates were picking up on that. And I was like, if I'm putting all this effort in, and don't get me wrong, it's not that much effort, but like an hour a day or 2 hours a day of filming and editing, I'm getting I am getting a return on Instagram because my mates are seeing it and whatnot, but I'm not getting any traction, I'm not making money from it, blah, 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 but I'm putting this effort in. And I was like, if I'm putting this effort in anyway, let me just stick it on TikTok and see what happens. And then people seem to connect with me, but especially like the Spanish part. And I think that's the main thing, is that I like the feedback that I've got from my mates is it does feel like I'm just on FaceTime with them, and it just feels like everyone's mate that's traveling kind of thing. And then with the Spanish stuff, I try to just, almost a bit like what you're saying, that sometimes there feels like there's a barrier to it, or you don't feel comfortable enough to do it. I'm happy to go and be that idiot and make mistakes and like be the guinea pig to show other people that it doesn't matter if you mess up, or to like just go and practice and see what happens kind of thing. And some people are going to write you off and speak to you in English, and just crack on anyway and just go with the flow a bit more. And if I can inspire other people to speak Spanish, or inspire other people to travel, or inspire other people to do anything, great. That's basically all it is for me. And then if I can make a bit of money, fantastic. But it's not about the money. If I go home and I end up going back to corporate life, so be it. Like I'm not chasing a dollar sign kind of thing. No. I don't know. Did that answer what your question was? Yeah. This is the life in Latin America. I don't know what that is.
Should we describe the scene? We won't put the hombres in, but they've got high vis vests on, and then like parachutes. So Pure Gym advertisers in towns would have backpacks on.
And there's shock, they're playing loud music out of a JBL, which is a common theme. It's a common theme here. I love it, man.
Very formal.
Yeah. But I love it when you're like, you'll be in a restaurant somewhere, and then just some guy or some girl walks past with the fattest JBL you've ever seen, just like banging reggaeton. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Something that I've really enjoyed about this city is that there's loud music everywhere, but not from passing cars necessarily.
Yeah.
It might be somebody's living room, it might be a bar. There's a place not far from here called Drama Radio Bar.
Oh,
have you been there?
No, but I've got about quite a lot of people have told me that I need to go, so yeah, I must go.
It's great. There's like loads of tables out in front, and then the DJ, it's like a server's hatch. The DJ's in the server's hatch.
Oh wow, nice.
And got a camera set up, but it's not invasive, so you can see the DJ's face. It's not like there's a full rig in front of them.
Yeah.
And playing great tunes, which are obviously being streamed for this station, that people can enjoy right now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Is it Drama Radio?
I think so.
It's called, because there's one in Medellin very similar. It's called Mad Radio, so I wonder if it's like, might be a chain or something. But yeah, I'll have to go.
Just so much 80s synth, like British
nice.
synth pop.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
in class. I'm just like,
here we go. Yeah.
When we think about the FaceTime aspect of it, something that I was definitely guilty of was trying to be a travel influencer.
Okay.
So when you asked about me being in Mexico City, 6 months ago, or at this point, a year ago, that would have been me in Vietnam or in Cambodia doing the, have you tried this food thing? Have you done this thing? But using, like your top 10 viral hooks to...
Yes.
And I think what comes across with your stuff is that you always did it for one person or for your family or for your mates.
Yeah.
And I think the reason, there may be many reasons, my face might be one of them, that mine didn't kick off.
Well, I haven't got a fucking guy, it's not like I'm a looker either, mate, to be fair.
But whatever it was, I think what was obvious was that it was manufactured for me, and that it was an attempt to get reach, it's an attempt to get views and likes and engagement, and build something that I wasn't necessarily fussed about.
Yeah.
Whereas your expression of, all right, I'm on the beach, I'm smash drinking caipirinhas.
Yeah.
Like, cool, I want to hang out with Peds.
Yes, yeah. I appreciate it.
And I would really appreciate if he could order me one until I'm confident enough to, It's that feeling of it that drew me to your stuff, that made me feel comfortable in sending you a message.
Yeah.
And for you to reply like, you're right, mate, like, cool, I'm going to be doing this travel in this time, maybe we can make it happen in person. And I think that is missing from social media. I think the actual personable aspect of social media sometimes just isn't there.
Yeah, I'd agree. Because I was doing it just for like my friends and family, I've just continued the same style of content. So it's just like I'm talking to my friends and family. But then I think that, and this isn't my quote, and I'm definitely going to misquote it, but like, you're the only person that can like do you in the best way possible. So like no one else is better at being you than you are, and people will connect with that. There's like 8 billion people on the planet. There's gonna be 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million people that resonate with what you're doing, or that relate to what you're doing, or whatever it might be. So I think if you just stay as natural as possible on social media, you're going to connect with people better. But also then it's not you're not pretending to be something that you're not, and then it's easier to maintain and it's easier to keep up. In the same way, like say if you went for a job interview and you like lied to get the job, after a while you'd be like, I just lied to get this and I don't actually like doing it. I feel like it's the same on social media. You just got to be yourself and like edit in your style and like talk in the way that you talk, like, and people would connect with that rather than trying to be like, what's up you guys, this is what I'm doing today and this is where I'm going and this is how much it costs and use my code for this. And like I've got a few things now that where like I'll tell people to do this, and I've got like brands that I'm working with, but it's brands that I've been working with like before social media. Like I had like a betting company reach out the other day and I was like, A, I don't bet, and B, I'm not telling an audience to bet. Like I can't do that, do you know what I mean? So I would only ever push things that are like genuine from my side. And I think as long as you do that and you stick to like within your values and within your like principles and you're authentic, people will buy into it. I think as soon as you start like being, not that I'm saying that's what you were doing, by the way, I don't want to like discredit what you're doing, anything like that, but I think if you if anyone trying to get into social media is pretending to be something they're not, you'll get found out and then you'll also get bored of it and then it will just die out. It's not like there's no longevity to pretending to be someone, I don't think. Yeah.
I got to the point of hating it, to be
honest.
honest.
That's what will happen. You'll fall out of love with it. Yeah.
So for me, it was I really dislike what I've been trying to do. I'm conscious of deliberately trying to chase an audience, and I feel worse for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas actually at the start, I think people appreciated how like overlong it was, almost. If you know what I mean? That it was me trying to give my take on things without it being trending audio.
Yeah. It's raw. It's raw, it's real. Yeah.
Like hypercut and all of that. It was just, no, this is me talking about this thing that you might be experiencing. I know about it because my clients are going through it, you know? And I'm doing my best to go back to that. But I think, and you call me out on this, maybe this is waffle. Fake it till you make it. I don't actually like that as an approach for many things. I think it's show up, put in the work, the sets and the reps, learn from any potential mistakes. And while you're doing it, ask, could it be better in a way? Could you do things differently?
Yeah.
You know, you've already said how you would make a video anyway, but you noticed it was different aspects of it that different audiences were interested in.
Yeah.
So you'd already made the thing. It's just you could clip that thing to appeal to the audience that was interested and bring in more of that audience. So there's nothing fake about that.
No.
Because it's what you wanted to record.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah. Just be true to yourself, I think is the main thing. And then people will buy into. You're better to have 1,000 people that really, really like support you and really get along with your content, rather than 100,000 people just because you've made 1 million videos that you don't really care about and 100 of them happen to go viral. You're way better off having like a core following than like 100,000 people that don't really care. I think anyway.
I think something that I really appreciate with your stuff is that you are outwardly confident and you are curious. Yeah. But are there ever moments where you do doubt yourself, or you feel like you're in the wrong place, or you're out of your depth? Have you had that on this journey yet?
From a travel perspective or from like content perspective?
It feels to me that you're secure in your content, like that's not really an issue.
Yeah.
But the kind of bits that we don't see in between.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you're wanting to let your friends and family know that you're safe, you're having a good time, you'll show them that.
Yeah.
But have there been moments with travel that you've struggled with or found tough?
Right, in terms of like what I maybe like might not have put on camera because it's been a bit hard or whatever. Yeah, there's been a few times like when I was in Guatemala, I was like 2 months in. This is when I was with the family. I was like 2 months in, and I'm not really one that gets homesick because I went to uni, so you're doing 3 months. You're not miles away from home. You're 4 hours away in the car or whatever, but like you're doing 3 months at a time without your friends and family from home. I've been on big trips before, not for this amount of time, but and I've lived in London, like away from my family for the last 5 years or whatever, so I don't really get homesick. But I was like 2 months into my trip, and a song that we always used to play in long car journeys. We've got like a playlist as a family, and we call it Old iPod, which is like all the songs that we used to listen to on a big car journey, and it's like a load of random stuff. But there's Iris by the Goo Dolls is on there, and that's what I would think of as like my family's song, like the song for our family almost kind of thing. You know, like in relationships you have like, oh, this is our song. I would almost think of that as mine for my family. And my phone was just on shuffle and it came on, and I just got a bit caught off guard, and I was just like, I was upset, but not from a perspective that I missed my family, but I was upset that I was doing this thing that my parents didn't have the chance to do because like the world was smaller back then, and they've given me the opportunity to do this, and all my siblings have travelled and are like, some of my siblings are like, they've lived in New Zealand, Canada, Nepal, Italy, Australia, New Zealand, like everywhere. So that we're all doing our thing that my parents didn't get the chance to do, and that's what I was like, oh fuck, like, but I can't bring them with me because they're doing their thing to support us to be able to do this kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Like not now, they don't financially support me now, but like growing up, they gave me the opportunities to go to uni, to get a good job, to now be able to do this. And I was just like gutted that I can't like bring them with me. So part of the TikToks and the Instagram and stuff like that was to kind of bring my mum and dad with me from some way. I don't even know if they'd know that or if they'd even care, but that's part of it. So that was a little bit difficult, but that, you know, that comes and goes in phases. But then the other part, I had a fucking parasite in fucking Guatemala, mate, and I was just exploding from the bottom half, mate, for like 2 weeks. It was awful, and that was difficult just because I was at school at the time, and I was like, wake up, 3 hours at school, just felt like death, mate, because I just was so ill, and I was losing weight, and like no food was like staying in me, and that was difficult. But like no one would have known based on my videos that that's what was going on. And like even my mates were like, when I went back home for the wedding, my mates were like, I didn't even know that was happening because it didn't come across in your videos. And like, I think that's probably part of me that I need to get better at, is like maybe showing a bit more vulnerability rather than just seeing it as a weakness. Because I was like, I don't want to put this on. I don't want to put it online because I don't want my mum to worry that I'm upset, and I just wanted to fix it and then tell her, by the way, I had this, but I haven't got it anymore, just so she doesn't worry. But I also didn't want to like present that side of me whilst it was going on. I have since made a video about it to basically say how I got rid of it, because that was helpful to people. But I didn't necessarily want to show that side of me, if you know what I mean.
I get that.
But I'm sorry, I keep waffling on. I feel please tell me to stop, mate.
It's nice to know that somebody who is, to all intents and purposes, like having a great time doing this. Yeah. And this stint of travel for me, like it's only been a week, but already there's a vibe, a feeling to it that I'm just in love with.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's
amazing.
Something else that, you know, we all have our moments, and actually dealing with it in our own ways and not wanting to bring other people in because we don't want them to worry.
Yeah.
A thing, and something that, like, I've learned growing up, different people, different relationships, is that like avoidant and anxious attachment. I don't know if you come across these as ideas.
I have, yeah.
And I can definitely be avoidant, and I've been with anxious people, and that's just a terrible
combo, mate.
It's so bad.
Bottom 3 combinations probably in the world, yeah.
Yeah, and so I know that to answer the question of maybe what would I want if I'm in a relationship at some point, it's to know that the person I'm with trusts that if I'm going off to just be by myself.
It's not a her thing or a him thing, it's a you just got to, that's how you deal with stuff kind of thing, Yeah, I get that.
But it takes an amount of living and tough conversations to get to that point.
Yeah, 100%. But I think my biggest thing is I never want to be like a burden on other people, where like my mum's worried about me or my dad's worrying about me. I just want them to, as far as they know, everything's sound. And also, I know that for that, it's just a parasite. I know that I'm going to sort that out. So like, they don't necessarily need to know whilst it's going on that I'm having a problem. But post, it's probably nice for them to go, okay, that was what was happening, whatever. But I just would rather just fix stuff by myself, just get it sorted.
Yeah.
Not let people worry.
No, I had 4 days on the back of a scooter in Vietnam where food wasn't working for me.
Yeah, it happens.
And being sat in this position for 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Oh, was this doing that? Were you doing the Hajang Lu? Oh, mate, I have to do that. How was it?
It was amazing.
Yeah, everyone says it's like the best thing they've done.
The guys that we were with, I'll try and remember the name for you. They weren't the big company, but they were just so sweet, and they wanted to get you involved with things, and kind of like with the Spanish for us, they were teaching us the hi, bye, yo. So the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 cheers.
Oh, like nice. Yeah.
The rituals when it came to the fire water and all.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we were sharing music, and it was just, for these guys, the entertainment and the joy seemed to come from meeting people from all over the world. You know, despite the fact that they were doing the same route.
Yeah.
Ad infinitum, ad nauseum, to use the expression that definitely applied to me. They were motivated by the notion that they could meet people from countries that they might not go to.
They get to travel through meeting travellers, basically. Yeah.
And you know, we might have any kinds of takes or opinions on that. Just like, oh, isn't it a shame that they might not leave Vietnam, that they might not even leave Ha Giang as an area? But the kind of joy that they gave, the excitement that they had for the route, and to show us waterfalls and all of that, felt so genuine.
Yeah,
so
it's
sincere.
amazing. Yeah.
So if you do get to go out that way, I'll definitely do that, and I'll do that over Khao Sok, which is like a flooded forest in Thailand.
Okay.
So I think people, like, I was very lucky to go to these different countries. With Ha Giang, and there's another place in the northeast where you see all of these like idiosyncratically Thai, Vietnamese.
Mate, your
mountains.
vocabulary is a joke, by the way.
Oh, don't do that.
Some of the stuff that you're coming out with, what the fuck does that mean, mate? Idiosyncratic. I ain't got a clue. What is that?
Idiosyncratic is specific to you. Or
Not me, as in specific
yes,
to one.
to whatever one's talking about.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought that they were specific to Thailand and Vietnam, these kind of
Okay, got you. Okay.
hump mountains with like trees on them coming out of the water.
Yeah.
But we were driving through San Cristobal and you went on the gorge trail.
Mate, incredible.
That looked like Vietnam.
Yeah,
That
I
looked
couldn't
like
believe it.
Thailand.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the breadth of what I've seen in Mexico already. And I'm not even going to go to the desert. There's deserts, there's rainforests, there's these like jungle with streams in the middle, there's the beaches. It's crazy good, the place.
Yeah. So I thought that you were just showing a Vietnam clip out of nowhere.
No, yeah.
It's
It's San
wild.
Cristobal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's that thing of the submerged kind of mountains, you know, the trees coming out of the water. That in Vietnam is so much bigger than the Khao Sok bit, which is just a forest that's been flooded for tourism,
That's a bit of a shame, I suppose.
which is a bit of a shame. The motorbike tours, and there's another one in Laos called the Tak Ek Loop, which I did with my partner at the time, and it's just like a square, I think maybe a 400 kilometre square, and you can break it up into however many days you want, but you'll see things like naturally sunken forest. So for about an hour we were on this scooter and sunset just seemed to last forever, like it was golden hour for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And
Get selfies in whilst you can, mate.
well, yeah, I'm doing my best. But
Yeah.
Beth did a great job taking as many photos. And seeing like broken trees come out of the water, almost like people. It's
Yeah.
strange. I don't know if you've seen the Gormley statues in Crosby Beach.
No, I haven't.
So Anthony Gormley, Angel of the North,
Okay.
he's put 100 statues like that in the beach in Crosby.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And if you go like at low tide, you'll see people just stood in the water.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's what
cool.
those trees were like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just seeing moments like that and the waterfalls and all of that, that you're on a motorbike, so you can stop whenever you want. But having somebody skilled do it in Vietnam,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the confidence to do it in Laos were it not for my guide in Vietnam.
Right, got you. Yeah. Mate, I have to do it. Like my best mates that have done it are all just like, mate, that's the best thing I've ever done. You got to do it, like the loop and like doing these motorbike tours. So I'll get round to it.
And maybe as a last bit to introduce a friend or family member or partner to what it is that we do. Unless, of course, we're going to keep this as our little secret. What's next for you in terms of travel? You're going south from here, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm here until I'm going to Day of the Dead in Oaxaca. You're going to be there, no?
I'll be
Yeah,
there.
you're going to be there. So Day of the Dead for Oaxaca, and then I'm then on the bus from there to San Cristobal to stay the night to then go down into Guatemala because my mate and his missus from home are coming out. They're doing 2 weeks and I'm just gonna like overlap with them for like 5-6 nights, just so like they've kind of come to see me, but also it's their big holiday for the year, so I'm just aware of like not being the third wheel, like they're going out for dinner, I'm like, you right guys, me again kind of thing. So we'll overlap for like a nice amount of time, go back to the lake where I'll probably go and see I'll go see Big Mama again, and then a different part of Guatemala that I've not been to, and then from there I'm flying down to Buenos Aires. I'm just gonna park up there for I don't know how long, 3 to 6 months or so, and just float about, I suppose, just like go and live down there for a bit. My plan originally always was, which I spoke to my mum and dad about, was to kind of travel through it all, to really find where do I think I could go and live for 3, 6, 12, 24 months. And I think front runners are Buenos Aires and probably here, Mexico City. It's amazing here. This is quite similar to Buenos Aires, to be fair. Yeah.
And is that what draws you to it? Because I have no experience of Argentina, but if I'm thinking what would draw me to here, as we've said, it's music everywhere. People are just so generous, like and genuine. They're encouraging. The food's amazing. The climate, like it's 24 degrees at the moment. This is nice.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, even when it's hotter than this, it's nice. Yeah.
But what is it about Buenos Aires and here for you that?
Well, Buenos Aires is very European, because after the war, I think a lot of, and this might be the wrong countries, but I think a lot of Italians and Germans after the war moved down to Argentina and to Buenos Aires specifically. So a lot of the architecture is very European. A lot of the faces you see, like there's a real mix of Latinos, like pure Latino heritage, and then like mixes of Latinos and Europeans, and then just Europeans. So like you see a very diverse place, which is great. Like living in London, obviously, like we were saying off camera, super diverse. To go down there and see that it's really diverse as well. But it almost feels like kind of like home from home, because it does have that European look and feel to it. But then it is also so different to London. And like you've got like the music's different, the language is different, the way people dress is different, and like that kind of thing. So it's also just to give it somewhere else a try. I wouldn't want to get to 75, 80, 90 and I've only ever lived in England. I want to just go and live somewhere else for a bit.
And we're very fortunate to do that. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
But for maybe the people who are watching your videos, you know, I think is quite a big audience potentially, who maybe feel that they have to have X in order to do Y, or they need to speak, as a specific example, enough of the language to go and visit the place.
Yeah.
What would your advice be?
My advice is very straightforward. It's just book the ticket. Like, just go. I found a lot of the time when I was going home, or when I was at home, like I was saying, I was at home for like a month in between these two kind of phases of my journey or my trip or whatever. I'd speak to people, how's the travelling going, blah, 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 what are you doing? And every single time, I'd be like, you know, you got to do it, it's like the best thing I've ever done. And there's always, I'd love to do it, but. Every single time, I'd love to do it, but my girlfriend doesn't want to do it. I'd love to do it, but I've just bought a house. I'd love to do it, but da-da-da-da. And it's like, I don't know how much they want to do it. I think it's more like they're using those potentially, sometimes, don't get me wrong, there's corner cases where like absolutely people can't do certain things, and I understand that. But say for example, it's like, I'd love to do it, but I've just bought a house. Okay, we'll do the house up, make sure you've lived in it for the time that you want to live in it, put it on the market to rent it out and travel. I'd love to do it, but I've just started a new job. Okay, we'll work at a job for a year, save the money, go in a year's time. Mexico is not moving. This is still going to be here in a year's time, I should think, unless something mental happens. Mexico's still going to be here, Argentina's still going to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I just felt like there was always that but. So it's like, if you really want to do it, and this is kind of, it comes a bit back to like the building a life for you, like the Club del Domingo stuff, but like, if you really want to do something, and your life currently doesn't allow you to do it, you need to think, right, what things do I need to put in place to allow me to live the life that I want? And if it's getting rid of people, or it's like changing jobs, or it's doing whatever you need to do, sometimes you have to be selfish and you have to do those things for yourself. So I'm always one to just like book the flight, like make the life that you need, whether it's like you need to save up X amount of money or whatever it is, do that and just book the flight and come out and do it. But that doesn't just mean travel, it could be anything. It could be like, I would love to be able to buy a house. Okay, we'll sit down, how much money do I need to earn? How much freedom do I want to have, blah, 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 and design your life, make a mood board, whatever it is that you need to do, and then put the steps in place to achieve it. I think sometimes people can be a bit like put not their problems, but why they haven't done certain things in life and give an excuse to it. But I think sometimes you just need to be a bit more brutal with yourself and be like, no, I want to do this thing. This is what I need to do to allow me to do that thing. So I've got to do these things first, and then I can do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
I don't know if that's a bit harsh, but like,
I think it's amazing, and it ties into you asking, you know, kind of where we're up to with episodes. The one that's going to go out in 2 days' time from when we're recording is with an ultra marathon runner.
Oh, bloody hell.
Who hates running.
Yeah.
So I love that duality. Like, he is so impressive as an athlete, but can't stand his discipline.
Why does he do running then?
So he's got this connection. It first started as a charity thing. Like, he wanted to do something big.
Okay.
To kind of pay homage to a guy that he met who sadly died quite young.
Okay, got you.
And it was from the process of that, the experience of training for this thing, that he's just like, I'm quite good at that.
Yeah.
Like, we could do more of this. And the charity stuff really kicked on, and they did a second event, and it's just been growing from there.
Oh, wow, okay.
And had
amazing.
like a really impressive impact in Coventry, which is where he's based.
Yeah.
And his thing is like, look, I hate running these distances, but my thing is book the ticket, sign up for the race, and then worry about how you feel about it.
Yeah.
It's that thing of, you've got this thing to aim for now, and whatever you need to do it,
I like that.
get done.
Yeah.
And I really like that. As a coach, you know, we think about SMART goals. Is it specific, measurable, achievable, realistic?
Time bound.
Time bound, exactly. And if you actually don't have something concrete, then you might spend all of your life not going in the direction you want.
Yeah.
But if you pin something, like you say, work at that job for a year, and then go do the thing.
Just put your head down for a year, or whatever it is,
Limit the time, and I think you'll feel so much better for it. If things feel endless, if things feel like they're never going to change, I think something that you said, it's not about it being harsh necessarily, but people will they'll describe themselves as failures for a thing. So I'm not the kind of person who would. I'm not the person who does this.
Yeah.
You know,
Why?
I'm not like you. I'm not confident to do.
Yeah.
I think something that you'd be able to speak to, something that Reese speaks to, is that it's sets and reps. It's putting yourself out enough times that it's not actually scary to put yourself out.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, at the start it can be a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
But I mean, we wouldn't be having this conversation if you or I were scared of having a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if I go back to some of my older videos, just like as a really simple example, I'm like, all my videos I'm like shooting from the waist. So like, you're seeing this like bad angle of me because I was too worried about like filming in public and like walking through a street and be like, blah, 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 this is what I'm doing or whatever. And if you look at my videos now, it's just like, I'll be in an airport and I'll just be like that. Yeah. But like, your first video, your first rep, your first set, your first whatever it is never ever going to be perfect. But you're never going to get to the point you want to be at if you don't do that first one in the first place. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah, you just got to, if there's something you want to do in life, whether it is travel, buy a house, get this dream job, whatever, you just have to put down on paper or put down in your head, what are the steps to get there, and just do the steps. Otherwise, you can't really complain that you're not doing it, because you can, if you know what I mean, if you just build a plan. I really need to get more articulate with how I speak.
No, but I think it's exactly that works. Both got that sense of give yourself something to aim for, work towards it, and then
Just
maybe
do it, yeah.
splitting it up into smaller things.
Yeah, make it manageable, yeah. Whatever way that you can do it, just, yeah, do it that way, I suppose.
Just from you saying that, it's so nice to hear other people say what I'm trying to coach. Like, I think it's the lifestyle aspect, isn't it? That you're trying to build a lifestyle that you're proud of, that excites you, that motivates you. And I think when I work with people, it's not just that we're going to get you to X weight, or that we're going to help you lift 100 kilos or whatever it is. That is a nice endpoint.
Yeah.
But what ideally you're going to fall in love with is the process.
Yeah.
Actually the journey becomes the thing rather than the endpoint.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
when you fall in love with this, you can set any goal you want and you'll achieve it.
Yeah, or halfway through you might go, oh, actually I didn't care about being able to bench 100. I actually cared about the way it made me feel, or the way it made me look, and then you just pivot your end goal. And then you go, oh, it's not actually the number. For that example, it's the feeling, or it's the pride you get, or whatever it might be, and then you just pivot as you go along.
The fitness bit that we've not touched on explicitly and is interesting for me as a coach is, how do you stay fit on the road?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. So at the start of the year, I wasn't drinking. I did literally from January to about the first month of my travelling. So I think it was 4 months all in. From a health perspective, I never really had a bad relationship with alcohol, but just from a health perspective, when I was like between like 16 and 22, 23, I struggled a bit with my health, not to the point of view where I was unable to do certain things, but I was taking quite a lot of medication to maintain a level of health. And it wasn't great. Like you think, oh, I'm a 16-year-old kid. Why? Like I shouldn't have any problems with me. And like I'm sure at some point I will be more open about what it was and the ins and outs of it on social media. But I think for now we'll just kind of leave it as that. But then what I essentially did was I was just like, I'm not happy with this. Like, I was 22, 23. I was like, I'm not happy with this. I don't want to be the person that has to rely on medication to maintain a level of health. So I cut all processed foods out of my diet, stopped drinking for 3 months. Went back to the hospital, and the thing that I've had or I have got is chronic, so you have it forever apparently. Went back to the hospital, did some tests, and they were like, yeah, it's not active anymore. But all they do with their patients is just load them up with medicine and say, on you go and fill your boots kind of thing. But they don't really, it's the classic of they don't prescribe a healthy lifestyle. I've always been a healthy kid anyway, but cut out processed foods, cut out alcohol. But the point being of that is every year I will do a stint of going back to that and making sure that I'm like giving my body a proper reset. But sorry, this is like a really long way of saying it, but like I've always tried to be healthy, but whilst I'm on the move, it's more difficult because say if you just want to grab something to eat and you go into like an OXO or something, the selection isn't great. So like it's like the best thing really is like a bag of nuts. So it's like trying to just do that. And then every now and again I'll try and go to the gym, or I'll go for a run. Like I ran down Copacabana Beach a few times when I was in Brazil, and they've got like a cool outdoor gym and stuff like that. But I just try and eat as clean as what's available. Or every now and again I'll have a Coke because I just need the hit of the sugar kind of thing, and then go gym as and when. But when I move down to Buenos Aires, I'll probably be a bit more back in like a normal routine of it. But I don't want to go back to the state I was when I was like 17, 18, where you're like tracking calories and like tracking everything you're doing. And if I don't go to the gym 5 times this week, then I've like, like sometimes you beat yourself up for it if like you've missed a session or whatever. I want to just have a nicer relationship with fitness and food, and that's what I'll hopefully do in Buenos Aires.
It's something that we keep coming back to, is that you've got to accept that what best might be in one area might have to change in order to allow you to do other bits.
Yeah.
So do you want to travel Latin America and have the best time that you possibly can?
Yeah.
Great. Do you want a 6-pack and do you want to earn millions while you're doing it? You might have to pick 2 of those 3 and maybe actually just commit to one of them and put everything else on maintenance.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's the point I got to with like the not drinking whilst I was travelling, and it's like I was looking at it, I was like, I'm with a really good group of boys here that I'd met in Argentina, and it was they were coming to the end of their trip, and they were like, mate, come out, we'll go for a nice dinner and we'll go out after. I was like, yeah, I'll come, but I'm not going to drink, and I just like set that expectation early. And then I was at the table and like they ordered like a nice bottle of wine, and I was like, am I really going to sit here with like some, and you don't have to drink to have fun kind of thing, and I don't have to drink to have fun, but whatever. I was like, am I really going to sit here with like a really good group of lads that I've met that I'm not going to see again, maybe ever, but at least not until I go home, and not drink and not go and have a boogie and listen to some good music just because tomorrow I've got to do chest and tries. I was just like, am I really going to, do you know what I mean? So I was like, it's finding that balance, and like enjoy yourself a little bit. Like, you don't need to take it so seriously, and that's anything, whether it's fitness, work, relationships. Just relax a little bit. That's what I need to get better at.
On a personal level, I think the best I've ever looked, you know, and there is an aesthetic that comes with coaching people, particularly around lifestyle bits and fat loss.
Well, you're in good shape, no? So yeah.
But I spent like 9 months getting to the single digit body fat look.
Fucking hell, yeah, that's tough.
And it was really tough to start with, but what I learned, kind of as you're saying, is say yes to more things that you want to do. Things that give you energy, say yes to them, and don't turn down the things that you'll regret not going to. So I think where I was is that, were I in your shoes with your boys, I might not have had 2 glasses of the wine, but I might have had 1, because actually that could help with how lean you look, which people don't recognize. So before bodybuilding shows, common for people to have like a couple of shots of vodka, for instance, because of the diuretic effect of alcohol.
Oh, right, okay, interesting. Yeah.
And I went out the night before and the night after taking the photos, and I gained 7 kilos, which is unreal from the moment of taking the photos to finishing that night out. 7 kilos heavier, and I only shifted 2 of those kilos, so I was permanently 5 kilos heavier.
Bloody hell.
Which is mental to think of how much the body can change and like what we hold on to. But I think I wouldn't have done it any differently, and I don't regret the weight gain because I got the photos and I had a great night out. Like, I don't regret any of it, and that's the point for me, is that when I started saying yes to things that brought me joy, I looked better, felt better, recovered better, rather than being in my own bed at 10 o'clock every night and thinking, oh, it would have been nice to, you know, it's that thing of, it must be nice for you. I wish I could do that. And then you realise you are the person who can do that. You know? And all right, you're a bit tired, but do it tired.
Yes, yeah. And you have to, when you travel, you have to do stuff tired, otherwise the bus is leaving, or the flight is going, whether you're tired or not.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot of that.
Is there a place that you think about as like really left a mark on you, or that like, maybe it's changed your life in some way?
Like growing up, playing football, and my dad having a very specific philosophy about football, about it being, yes, work hard, yes, do your runs, yes, win your headers, win your tackles, but you're playing to entertain. And he was fascinated by like the kind of late 90s, early noughties Brazil and France teams, so like your Zidanes, Ronaldinhos, like old Ronaldo, fat Ronaldo, if that's what people call him, I think, R9. But like those types of players where they were unbelievable players, but they also knew they were on the pitch to entertain an audience as well. And that's how I think that as a younger person, when I was growing up playing football, I always wanted to have that like side to my game as well. And that philosophy basically came down from my dad. So then when I landed in Rio and like checked into the hotel, and then you literally stroll down, like our apartment, was just like in between Copacabana and Ipanema Beach, and you like just walk down this thing, and as the buildings begin to like fade because you're going further down the street, like you see these mountains and Ipanema Beach and all the footballs in the air, all the Brazilians doing like Jogo Bonito, and I was literally like, holy fuck, like this is insane. Like it literally felt like I was in a movie. And then to go into the favelas and play football with these like little Brazilian kids and all that was like a lifelong like bucket list like dream that I ticked off. But the way I always like kind of answer this question, people message me like, oh, Peds, I've got this amount of time, where should I go? I think if you've got a short amount of time, stick in one place and either go to Brazil, Colombia or Mexico. If you've got between like 3, 6 or 12 months, just travel and see as much of it as possible. But if you were to move somewhere, I think you'd move to Buenos Aires, you'd move to Argentina. It's a lot safer. It's got that kind of European feel. The salaries are good there and all that kind of stuff. So that would be how I'd answer it, in like different ways depending on the time you've got. Like if you've got 2 weeks, just go to Rio. You're going to have the best time of your life. Or just go to Medellin or whatever. But for longer term, see more stuff. But if you're going to move, I would move to Buenos Aires or maybe here. But I haven't been here long enough to definitely say that yet.
And the last thread that I think we can pull out, if you're game, what does moo mean to you?
Oh mate, yeah. So I didn't choose to support that club. I don't think anyone does. My dad's a Millwall fan, and my granddad on my mum's side's a Millwall fan. So literally from both sides of the family. I remember when I was younger, you watch Premier League because it's only what's on TV. Championship obviously, and League One was not on TV. And I'd say, Dad, why can't I support this team? And he'd be like, you're not supporting Arsenal, you're not supporting Man City, you're not supporting whoever else it is, you're supporting Millwall. And then from the age of 6, he would take me to games, and it would be a case of, like, now I go with, when the people are available, when they're in the country, I go with my dad, obviously on my dad, but then my granddad on my mum's side, so both sides of the family, my cousin, his son, my brother, my 2 sisters, and then we've all then got mates, so we will say hello to, I say hello to my dad's mates, I go away with my dad's mates, my dad says hello to my brother's mates, and like, Millwall is, as much as a reputation it's got, it's a community. Like, you walk in the ground, you scan your ticket, you go into your seats, everyone in, I've got season tickets, so everyone you sit around, they're also season ticket holders, and there's no money in selling Millwall tickets. It's not like if you've got a season ticket at Arsenal and you can't go, but you can sell your ticket every week. Yeah. So everyone in your block is there every single week. So you walk into your seats, you're shaking hands with about 10 different blokes, and it's a real community. Like, if anything were to happen to you on an away day, I don't look for trouble. I'm not like that at all. If some people want to do it, it's up to them. It's not my thing. But if I was to be caught out on an away day, and anyone from the seats around me were to see that, you know that you've got 10 people that will stick up for you, kind of thing. Yeah. And as much as we've got a reputation, which in the past maybe was valid, I wasn't going to Millwall in the 80s and in the 90s. As a Millwall supporter, let me rephrase this. If you're a Millwall fan and you're sat in the home end at Millwall, you will not find a stronger community. Like, if you're one of them, if you know what I mean. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. But basically, my original thing was to say that the reason I go now isn't because of the football. No one supports Millwall because of the football. You support Millwall because of the community and the fact that I see my family and my friends every Saturday. That was the point I was trying to make there, but again, I fucking got like that.
You got to. I think it's that thing that properly comes through with you is the social element of it, the community and building community. Yeah. You've got a WhatsApp for people learning Spanish, is that right? Yeah,
I've got a WhatsApp community, but I don't know if you've seen this, but on WhatsApp you can have like an overall community, but then within the community you can split it out into multiple chats. So I've got one for people that are traveling Latin America, one for people learning Spanish, and I've just set one up for people that are going to be in Oaxaca for Day of the Dead, so we'll do like a meal or go out for a few drinks or whatever. So obviously I'll invite you to that as well. Yeah, that's been really good, because like, people have been doing, like, the Spanish one, for example, I haven't organised anything, but people have been like doing Zoom calls practicing Spanish within the community that I haven't even been a part of. So like, connecting those dots to enable people to do whatever, and people have been meeting up to travel together and stuff like that. It's been like, it's nothing that I thought would happen, but it's just quite cool to enable people to help other people, which is quite, because I don't know if have you met many Dutch people since you've been travelling?
Not yet, but you're a fan, aren't you?
I love the Dutch, yeah, I absolutely love the Dutch, but they have every single country in the world, pretty much, there's a Dutchies in.
I've seen this.
Yeah. So it'll be Dutchies in Thailand, Dutchies in Mexico, Dutchies in Guatemala. Yeah. And they just join the chat as and when they enter that country, and they'll put in there, guys, just touched down in here, how do I get from San Cristobal to Bacalar? And another Dutch person that's done it before will be like, oh, this is how I did it, this is a number for the company. Or just landed here, who wants to go for a drink? And that community is incredible. And I think it's something that maybe British people are too scared to start. So I was just like, oh, let me see if people would actually be interested in it, and it's been quite successful. So it's quite good that people are buying into it and whatnot.
But I think it makes sense that you're doing that, because you also have your communities.
Yeah.
It's again that thing of don't fake it till you make it. It works because you're genuine about it. It works because you've had a good experience and you want other people to have a good experience.
Exactly that. Whoever it is that, like, if there's like a PR team for Latin America, they need to give me a job, because I'm promoting this place like it's nobody's business. But it's nice, and it's nice that I've met some people that have been like, you're the reason that I'm here and stuff, and that's like, wow, that's like, if I wasn't making videos, you literally wouldn't have quit your job to do this, or you may have picked Southeast Asia instead of here or whatever. So it's quite cool that you get that feedback.
Yeah, and I think that's the bit with your football team that I think something that I missed out on as a kid was that all my mates supported Middlesbrough. That's where I grew up. But almost in the other direction, my dad and his dad were Manchester United fans.
Yeah. So you kind of get stuck in the middle a little bit. Yeah.
So it was that thing of, there's no way you're supporting Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
You know, you're watching United.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, you know, there were some games, well, pretty much all the games I wouldn't see with my mates, but they would come back chatting about that.
Yeah.
And I knew that that was something that they had that I didn't.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to say that there weren't still moments. Like, I remember seeing Juninho play at the Riverside, and he was doing things that any footballer would love to do.
Yeah.
So it might be that even though it was a different time, particularly Manchester United in the noughties, and all the players they had and the success that they had, of course, I could still go to the occasional Borough match and enjoy the football, but then also enjoy being with my mates.
That's what I can guarantee if it came down to it. Not football fans that get to 2, 3, 4 games a year. People that have season tickets, if you really ask them, they're going for the community. They're not going for. You don't support Millwall because you care about football. You support Millwall because your mates go and because you can have a beer at half time and you see people that you've been seeing in the same seats for like 60 years. That's what people go for. It's not for the football. In my opinion, it's not for the football.
Maybe this is where we can bring it back around to things we've already said. People get so used to that. People get so used to their Saturdays, Sundays together that they almost become dependent on them or won't look at the world in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's a reason why people won't leave. You know, it's a reason why people won't try a different dish on a menu.
Yeah.
You know, or a cocktail.
Yeah.
You know, because that's for other people to do. I couldn't do that. And maybe sometimes to know who we are, maybe it can be helpful to not fully get rid of people, but tell the people that we care about that we're just going to try something different.
Yeah, and if they really care about you, they'll support it. Like doing TikTok or doing like what you're doing or whatever. If any of your mates, they don't have to support it as in like watch every video, buy everything you release, blah, blah, blah. They don't have to support it like that, but they should be pleased that it's what you're doing. If you've got mates or family members that are like frowning at it or like making jokes about it behind your back, then they're not your mates. So it's a good litmus test to like figure out who are your boys or your girls if you're whatever. Who are your boys that are going to back you, and which family members really like care about what you're doing. And it's a good litmus test to kind of see that. And I think that's a good thing when you stick your head a bit above the water. Is like you quickly see who supports you and who doesn't, which is good. Yeah. I think it's a good thing anyway.
What have we missed, Peds? What do you want to cover?
I think stick it on the community thing. Where do you think? What do you think that how old are you? You're late 20s, similar to me?
I appreciate you saying that.
28, 29?
43.
Fuck off. Are you actually? I was going to say, Jesus Christ. How old are you?
33.
33, okay, yeah, so late 20s, early 30s.
People guess 28. Like,
yeah,
for 5 years of my life, people have told me I'm 28.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing well, mate.
Appreciate it.
What do you think that, like, I suppose we're maybe from just slightly different generation, but pretty much same, kind of roughly the same.
So you're
26.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you think that people from our generation or like the kind of from, say, like 35 down to 20s, or maybe even down to like 15 now, what has happened where there's the community thing is way less than what it was? Like you're saying about like, did you reference the Japanese that they eat together and they do all this stuff? Yeah. What are we missing? Because I think there's a few things that I would say that we're missing, but I'd be keen to understand what you...
I think it's easier to not spend time with people for a number of reasons, and like there are so many different elements of this. So I spoke with a yoga therapist recently who has had an experience, and I've had an experience of my mates doing this as well, of people not texting us or ringing us up, but instead going to ChatGPT and asking for answers from it. You know, like, my partner said this, should I respond in this way? And it's a way to maybe express without being judged or feeling judged. But actually I think where a lot of growth comes from is having difficult conversations with people and potentially being called out for things. Yeah. Potentially being seen to be vulnerable in a way that you're working on, you know, that you said that, okay, maybe going forwards I can show a little bit more of that side. Yeah. Because it's tough to feel like people might think less of you because you're going through something. Yeah. Or you don't exactly agree with them. And I think maybe we all want to be liked, but being liked because of social media is a big thing. Yeah, it is. You know, we want as many likes as we can possibly get. Yeah. And it's easier to do the things that you think people want to see. Yeah. And I'm guilty of that. Yeah. What we were saying, I was deliberately going for the top 10 hooks and all of that because I was trying to appeal to people. But I felt more despondent as a result of chasing that than actually just having 10 conversations in a day, keeping it really small, keeping it really local. And that's where the enjoyment is for me. Like, I might go back into gyms at some point because I love that very personal one-to-one element of it. It's this stuff. Yeah. You know, it's why I want to keep on doing this. Yeah. Because this is missing from a lot of people's lives. I think. It is. You know, even when you go to the football, you know, you're sat side by side with people, but you might not be going into the deep bits. I think it's good that you've got the company, but people are maybe scared to actually talk about what they're feeling. And there's this thing, I don't know if you come across it, that we're kind of doing it, but we're not. We're more faced in. Oh, men doing tasks. So sitting like this. And talking about deep things. Yeah. Because this is more comfortable for men than what is typically more female. Women sit face to face. No. Yeah. So I think part of it is being judged, being scared to be vulnerable, and like the energy of it. Relationships need to be watered. kind of thing. Like, you need to give some of yourself if you want something in return. And I think if you're just doing it because you want something back, that could be an issue as well. Like, I feel I'm waffling, but do you
No.
chime with any of that?
I'd agree. I think that there's a I like what you said about it's like almost easier to not be social because you can go and rely on ChatGPT or Google, or like you know, when I was growing up, assume it's the same for you, like playing with my mates was outside. Like we went on the PS2 or whatever it was at the time, and we'd play like Skate 2 or we'd play FIFA 10 and all that kind of stuff. But like the majority of our days was spent riding bikes, playing manhunt, like playing cricket on the driveway or whatever it would be. It is easier now you can have that same enjoyment with your friends, but just playing Xbox games over live. But then you're not outside and you never get the opportunity to maybe meet someone new or maybe go and do something different. And I think it's a real shame for like the kids in like who are maybe kind of 18, 19 now, because they also have a way bigger, and it's because of social media. Part of it's a good thing, but it becomes obsessive. They're way more interested in their health, which is obviously a good thing to an extent. But now these kids aren't going to the pub and chatting to their mates. They're not going on a night out and meeting a girl, or they're not going to go and have a laugh and like do something really stupid because they're afraid that someone's going to film it. But like I've got so many memories, and you will have the same, where like there will never ever be video evidence of that taking place, which is kind of a good thing. So like all these events that are coming back, like some of the raves that I've been going to recently in the UK, are like no phones.
Stickers on the cameras.
Stickers on the cameras and all that kind of stuff. And it is amazing. You're just listening to the music, you're chatting to people, you're doing whatever, and it's just like, it's so much better. But I think that younger generation it's good to focus on your health and it's good to focus on certain things, but don't be too focused on it. Like, you still got to go and have a few beers, or it doesn't have to be drinking, but you still need to go and see your mates and do whatever it might be. It's so important to have that side of your life as well, the social side, not just fitness kind of thing.
But I think it's the social side is part of the fitness.
Yeah, if you can make it that, like go gym with your mates and whatever.
So I don't know if you come across CBT as a thing before. So CBT is looking at how people feel or why people feel a certain way because of what they do, like their kind of habits.
Their lifestyle in general, or habits?
Yeah, so it's cognitive behavioural therapy. So you're looking to change a person's behaviour. And I did it on the NHS, recognising that I was really low. And like I'd gone through a breakup, I'd moved to a different city, I didn't feel connected with anyone. And this is not far off the time that I went into a gym. Like, I'd been made redundant at work, started going into a gym, and like I deliberately went into a gym because I wanted to be around people.
Right. Okay.
I recognised from both study but also like experience that other people are really important for me feeling good. You know. And we will have had that experience of going to a club and feeling buzzed because of seeing all your mates around, as much as the drink, as much as the music. It's because you're among people, and it's fun to be among people.
Yeah, it is. It's class.
And with older men who maybe do struggle to open up, there were 3 different groups that were observed. So social group, an exercise group, and then a social exercise group. And I think it was walking football was the social exercise. And the men that did social exercise, did this walking football, had the best health outcomes observed later on
I bet.
than any of the other groups. Exercise important, physical fitness important. Social fitness and like being among other people in that sense is important and maybe good for your mental health. But it was that exerting yourself with other people, breaking a sweat, being part of a team, like feeling bigger than yourself.
Okay, so do you think it's the exercise, or do you think you would have the same results if you had, say, social, and then you had, say, a group where they had to build something physical, like build a car from nothing to a functional car on your own, and then one where you're doing it with your mates? Because I feel like you'd have the same results. I don't necessarily think it's just the fact that you're doing exercise. I think it's that you're working towards a common goal, or you're going through something hard together.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd have the same, or do you think that fitness would play a bigger part than that example?
No, I don't know. Good example. I love this as an idea. So, exercise massively important. Dopamine release, natural sunlight where you can get it. Obviously in the UK right now, a little bit tough.
Yeah, that's another reason to choose Latin America. It's sunny.
So many benefits to working out that will impact you mentally and emotionally and all of that, the other bits that we look at. The task stuff, having something to work towards, massive for mental fitness, particularly if you enjoy it and you can find an element of getting better at it. I think if you can progress in something, that's typically good for your mental health. If you're doing that with other people and maybe it is tough and you know there are arguments of falling out, but there's coming back together and like being stronger for it. My best mates have come from shared experiences. 100%. And it's why travel mates can feel so intense. It's because you might spend like 12 hours with a group and that might be it. But those 12 hours are all you've got. And it's such a big experience for that. And you don't forget those 12 hours, whereas if you've known people for 10 years, you can almost forget about them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I agree. Do you think when you meet people on your travels that you have a lower boundary or a higher boundary? Lower, you know, like people put a wall up.
Yeah.
Do you think it's lower or higher when you meet people when you're traveling?
I definitely had like this level of entry when I was 18, 19.
Yeah, of course.
Because I wanted to meet everyone and do what a young man wants to do.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I think where I'm up to now is I'm game for the conversations, but I also know what I want to get out of a place.
Okay.
And so maybe it's a case of, like, I'll chat to people in the hostel, but I won't go out my way as much. So I think I've changed in that I don't need to talk with everyone in order to feel like I'm in a place. But I don't know if that necessarily answers your question. I think it's changed for me, but that's because I'm more secure in myself. Whereas actually when I was trying to talk with everyone, it's because I was insecure.
Yes, yeah. I get that. I get that. Yeah.
What's your take on it?
Yeah, no, I only ask because I found that I will if I meet someone and we get along well, I will quite quickly open up with them. And I can feel that they're opening up with me. I don't know if it's my character that I like ease people or some shit like that. I don't know. But I will find that we quite quickly have quite a deep conversation. A conversation that I'd maybe not have with a mate that I've got for 15 years.
Huge.
And I don't know if that's because there is this, like, not to compare someone to ChatGPT, but I know that I'm going to be with this person for a week and I'm probably not going to see them again ever. So if they judge me, kind of doesn't matter. Whereas if I opened up to a long-term mate about something and he or she was a bit like, oh, a bit weird that actually could impact that relationship. Whereas this is more like, 2 days time, you might never see you again. So it doesn't matter if I go super deep. So I don't know if actually when you travel, your boundary is lower because of that. But sometimes it might be higher because you're like, and I have been guilty of doing this and I know other people do it as well, but sometimes you see a group of people or like whatever it might be and just think, I can't be bothered to go and have a conversation with them because I just know I'm not going to get on with them. So from that perspective, almost your boundary's further up because you wouldn't let them into you. Yeah. But when you meet someone that you like, it's like, just go straight away. And I don't know if you would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. I see how you're framing it now. So when I was in Thailand, it was 18-year-old Germans. And like I can speak a bit of German. And I had a lot of fun not letting them know that I could speak German.
Yeah, that's quite good.
And I would only chime in with the German when I needed it.
Yeah.
So like if they were being dicks.
Yeah. You know, that's cool. That's a superpower, man.
Then I would call them out.
Yeah.
And then they would go, what?
Yeah, oh shit. And he was listening to everything we've just said, yeah.
So
that's cool.
I've enjoyed that. But there was definitely a case of we're almost a different demographic. So I don't need to talk to you for my trip. Mm-hmm. But when I've found people my age, and you know, already like this chat's been great.
Yeah.
There is an element of what can we get into? Like what is there to discuss? What's your experience like? I think there's definitely something to be said about travelers and people who spend time on the road for whatever reason, because they've made a decision that isn't common. You know, we will look around and maybe spot travelers quickly.
Yeah.
But we're not the majority population here.
No.
You know, like the great thing about Mexico City, as you were saying before, is that it's 90% Mexican.
Yeah, probably higher.
Yeah. Whereas if you go to somewhere like Bali, it's probably 50% white. You know, which, like, I don't cast aspersions. I was in Bali.
Yeah.
You know, I was one of those people. But that's very different to being here. And so when you find somebody who is looking to explore and feels maybe a bit differently about the world, maybe it's that. It's that there's a wavelength, there's a resonance kind of thing.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Like you've really filtered down to like, if you meet someone out here that also you have like a similar sense of humour with and maybe you can relate to, you're going to have really filtered quite a lot of the population out because they're also travelling. So they're definitely going to be, you're going to relate to them at least in some way on that. If you then find that they're funny and that you get on and you have the same music interests, the same whatever it might be, you're going to connect at a deeper level very quickly, I suppose. And that's probably why you can then go, okay, my boundary can just drop straight away.
Yeah,
like that's where it comes from.
I had that in my hostel in Cancun. Like the only person that I spoke to was somebody that I went fairly deep with quickly. Like we were talking for all of 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
But in that time, it was quite obvious that we had similar backgrounds, similar interests. Amazing. And we didn't exchange numbers or anything like that. I think maybe I've been guilty of doing that, or we're very similar, we should hang out more, rather than maybe just allowing it to be the episode, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there is a beauty in just the episode.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, rather than making a whole series. And then maybe it's a bad ending. Just enjoy the one episode. Yeah, it's interesting. I think communities are so important, especially when you are traveling, because if you're a solo traveler, you are on your own. Yeah. Then you find a group of lads or a mixed group or whatever it might be, and you're just like, wow, these people are just so sound. And then you set for like the next 3 weeks because you've all got a similar plan. It's amazing.
No, that definitely happened in Southeast Asia. There's a lad called Jonas. who I ended up seeing in a different country.
Yeah, it's so funny when that happens.
Like I crossed the border with him. We'd been sat next to each other for 8 hours. And then I was just like, Jonas, you were in Copenhagen. You were in Copenhagen. Yeah, we were in the same hostel.
Yeah.
Like, we sat next to each other.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then
it's amazing.
when we realised we had that, we spent the next 3-4 days with each other.
Yeah, it's so good traveling. It's the best thing that you can do, I think. Or maybe not the best thing you can do, like in general, but you have to do it. If you get the chance to do it, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Go and see the world.
It opens up, doesn't it? And I think particularly with the language bit, you'll have noticed this, and already the bits of Spanish that I've seen from you, just you're able to engage with people on a different level. It's
like you would have had in Germany.
Yeah. It's the Nelson Mandela line of talk to a person in a language they understand, you appeal to their head. Talk to a person in their own language, appeal to their heart. It's like when you use a person's name in conversation as well. People feel closer to you already.
Yeah.
And to have that ability to just make a person think, oh, this person's trying.
Yeah.
When you
nice.
feel that, it can completely change your experience of the world.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a great place to come and try because they're like you would have seen, like my Spanish isn't perfect, but they're always like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
And like, say for example, if I asked that person to turn his volume down in English, he'd probably been like, mate, fuck off, like.
Yeah, who are you?
But I was like, say it in Spanish. He's like, yeah, no problem. So I think it helps to like, that relatability, speaking to their heart a bit more. They're very reasonable people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Come to Latin America, basically.
I think we are pretty much close to the end of
How
this
long
one.
do you reckon we've been going for?
An hour? 15?
It feels like quicker than that.
You reckon?
Because it's flown by. Yeah. It's been nice.
Do you want to send people anywhere other than Latin America without commission?
No. Come here. Come to Latin America. No matter like how long I think you've got free, even if you've got like 10 days of annual leave, I think here's a great place to come on a holiday and maybe get a feel for the place and fall in love with it, or just come. It might not be for you, but I think it gets definitely parts of it get written off because of the reputations. Look after yourself, stay in groups, you'll be absolutely fine, and it's one of the best places you can come, I think.
Yeah, and then obviously we'll drop links in the description, but do you have specific places for people to follow you?
I'm just on TikTok at the minute. It's yosoypeds, which means I am Peds in Spanish, so YOSOYPEDS. And then if they just follow me on there, then all my other links are on my link tree and that, so yeah,
spot on.
Follow me on there.
Appreciate you, lad.
Nice one, mate. Thank you.
Hey up, cheers for making it to the end of this episode. If you enjoyed that one, I think you might like this one. And why not subscribe if you haven't already, so you never miss an episode again.